for this particular steel case is obviously having, being of Mexican, Cuban, Latino heritage, I really wanted to bring forth a little bit of that myth, that folklore.
Hi, Orlando.
Hi, Hannah. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, and you?
Great, great. Thank you so
Me-
much for having the time to chat today.
No, thank you so much for giving us time to talk about this. This.
Yeah, right on.
Right on. It's amazing, right? I love it. When I received, I was like so excited. I was like, oh my God, this is so beautiful,
Oh
right?
man.
And of course, it's not the first time that you do a draw about a superhero, but this time around, I think it's different, right? Because let's say Latino, have the culture,
Yeah.
Asian culture. How's it for you to bring that culture to this cover?
Oh, I'm so proud. I am so very proud, and I'm very, very grateful for Marvel Studios to have invited me or requested me to be part of this. And it's every job I wish was like this, where I could at least include a bit more of my culture bit by bit, you know. And it's exciting. It's exciting. It's exciting times to have our first Mesoamerican Talokan king in the MCU. It's fantastic. I'm glad to feel that we have a margin of our culture, our heritage, somewhat represented or inspired to be represented within the MCU. It's huge. It means so much.
Yeah, it meant so much. I'm from Brazil,
Uh,
and even though like meant a lot to me too, because I think I'm part of this. I know I'm not Hispanic, but I'm part of that too because we see Latinos
yeah.
represented, and I think it's amazing. So let's talk a little bit like the inspiration that you got to create this very colorful and from the beginning. Can you explain very briefly what is the vector art is?
Oh, okay. Yeah, no. Vector art is unlike Photoshop. You hear Photoshop and Photoshop and Photoshop this and Photoshop that. Vector art still comes from the family of Adobe, right? Creative Cloud. But vector art is a program that the commercial industry, graphic industry, right, normally uses to make logos, right? Because you make it in such a way that you're able to give somebody a piece of artwork that's this small in vector, and they could blow it up the size of a building and it won't lose any detail. It won't get pixelated,
Okay,
right?
right.
But it's not easy to work in. It's unforgiving. And I've been playing with vectors since 1997, and I've broke it many times, and it's broken me many times. And vector is very interesting because, unlike your traditional way of drawing, you basically have to plot out points to make a shape and then fill that shape with a particular color. There's no smearing or easy mixing like there is in Photoshop. So it's very time consuming, or at least back when I first started, it was very time consuming. Now it's still my favorite video game.
Amazing. And what was the inspiration to
Oh, the
to create?
inspiration for this particular steel case is obviously having, being of Mexican, Cuban, Latino heritage. I really wanted to bring forth a little bit of that myth, that folklore, right, of the Mesoamericans, the Mayans. And there's a particular myth where up to this day they're still waiting for the return of their king, their feathered serpent, their Cucuclan, their What, and they've always said that he will reemerge with his tribe from the ocean. And now and that's how I wanted to depict this special narrative for the steel case. The return, right, of our king, our feathered serpent, our Kukulkan, our Namor from the Talokian world. This world that was pushed to the ocean, and they made the best of it. Now they embrace the ocean. They're empowered by the ocean, and it gives really good meaning and resonance to kind of the overall MCU,
Yeah.
right?
And how long did it take you to create this one? Like to get to this final one, which is beautiful, Yeah, it's very
Oh,
colorful and It's
Thank you.
amazing.
I'm glad that, you know, but you know, usually with some of the projects is back and forth with the client, like many revisions, many, hey, change this, change that. You know, I think I was getting ready to go to a conference, a big event over in London. You know, I'm in Colombia right now, so I was like, I only had like a week and a half to do the whole thing
Well,
and deal with, you know, the revisions back and forth, which were very, very minimal. But the initial concept and sketch were very much approved right off the bat, so it made it a lot easier for me to just jump in and start putting it all together and composing it and making sure that we had the right feeling, the right energy. A lot of my artwork has a lot of color, a lot of lighting, you know, just a lot of energy. And I wanted to make sure that this would be an extension of that, or at least represented in the right light.
yeah. So everybody's gonna be able to have that very pretty soon, and we can see this art. But where we can find you online and where we can find your art here in the US?
Online, you could find me on Instagram under my tag name, which is Mexi Funk, right? You could also find me on Twitter with my whole name, Orlando Arocena, right? And I also have my online portfolio at Behance, behance.net/Orlando Arocena. You know, those are basically the common areas on social where you could find me and my art, and yeah. You know, in the States, I don't know. I'm keeping my eye open for a few calendar dates of new events. I have a few solo shows that are coming up, probably for the Los Angeles area.
Okay.
So that's probably from summer to maybe November, somewhere around that time frame. I can't talk too much, but there's a little teaser for you.
Okay, I'm gonna start following you because I wanna meet you in person because I'm here in LA. So I'm gonna.
Hey, fantastic!
Yes, that's awesome. And that's the time that I have with you. But before we go, I have one that I check it out. My favorite was the Harley Quinn. The vector that you did for Harley Quinn is my favorite one. Thank you.
All right. Well, you know what? If we ever meet up, I'll make sure to make sure I have a print of that.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm gonna start following you. My name is Jana on camera. I'm gonna follow you.
Hey, fantastic. And feel free. I mean, we could probably talk about Harley Quinn on a different chat or conversation in the future if you want.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
No, thank you so much for your interest and for your time, Jana. Thank you.
Bye. If you like this video, don't forget to comment, to like, and subscribe to our channel right here.